All right, Scorp. So this week, again, from Lay Vampire, you pulled Hunter, Aggressor, Tracker, and Provider. And then from Chakra Wisdom, you pulled Perfection. Now, with Hunter, the blessing says it is time to actively seek that which you want. See how far your strength can take you. And then working with this card says that it is time to establish how to obtain what it is that you want. You must not ask another to go after it. You must find that part within you that has the courage to chase what you would make yours and be honest about it. But what you're chasing down is perfection. And that's a little worrying. Now, the quote for this card says, I have the same high standards for myself as I have for others. The inspiration says, are you being too hard on yourself and consequently on others? Begin to look for what's right and good in your world and you will see it. The personal question says, where am I presently focusing? Knowing what's right and telling others about it may not be the best way of being. The key ideas are alienating others, feeling alienated, seeking perfection, deeply desiring love and transformation ahead. So I worry a little bit, Scorpio, about the perfection that you're seeking. All right, Scorp, here we go. Here's the energy coming through. Oh boy. I don't understand what it is. The Lovers has been persistent with you guys for a month, maybe a little bit more. So the Lovers is your signifier. This is either going to have to do with a very important relationship or it's going to have to do with you making some major life choices here. I don't know. I feel heavy about it, but then at the same time, I'm okay. I just think that there's a lot of intensity when it comes to the Lovers, which, yeah, with Scorpio, obviously. But this being your signifier is like, yeah, we're getting straight to the point here. And again, as far as, making major decisions, it's about, going after temptation or going after what you know is the right thing for you and the right thing for you to do. And in the past, yeah, the Knight of Cups. So now the Knight of Cups is the past coming through. This could either have to do with you making an offering or you accepting an offering. The Knight of Cups is one of those cards where, this is an emotional thing. Love and romance. There is that offering. It's like, here, take my cup. Now, for some of you, this is definitely going to have to do with a relationship. Now, on the other hand, again, it's major life decisions, but the Knight of Cups can also suggest, following your heart and what your heart wants. But again, with the Knight of Cups, it's actions. Actions speak loudly here. Talk is cheap. Oh. Oh, my goodness. So in the present, there you are with death. Now, oh my goodness, major transformation, right? And again, perfection, transformation coming. So now for a lot of you, there's going to be a major ending happening, and it could be, this situation here with the Lovers. Now, for some of you, this could just be, ending a phase of life and moving into another one here before you make any major decisions on anything. But again, death, right? There's a reason why Scorpio is looked at as the phoenix rising from the ashes. You get burnt over and over and over again. It is your life cycle. But it worries me a little bit seeing the Lovers there. Now, on the other hand, for some of you looking at the Knight of Cups above this, it could definitely suggest that you're done with fickle emotions, because that's also a part of the Knight of Cups. Oh my goodness. Future conditions, and that's not bad. The Ten of Coins. Now, for some of you, it may have to do with family. I don't know. I see that more with the Two of Cups and the Lovers. But the Ten of Coins as future conditions is saying that, after you go through this major ending here with death, this looks like a better foundation. I mean, you jump from a major ending to a 10 here. I don't feel like it is the ending of, the Ten of Coins here, I feel like this is the door opening, but it's like you move from, the complete end of one cycle and into almost the ending of another. Now, the Ten of Coins, in terms of finances and career and home and money, it's fantastic. But again, you're making major decisions. Now, this could be about something that is happening within the home in terms of a relationship, or there may be a better foundation that you're building off of. The Ten of Coins generally is a fantastic card. Death being there is just, I don't know. I don't feel it's heavy, but it's not. Right? Like, this is what you normally go through anyway. It's just happening right now, but where you lead into looks a little bit better. But again, it's going to have to do with major decisions or a relationship. Oh boy. Your best path to follow, the Nine of Cups. Here's my warning with this, and I say this all the time. Again, beautiful card. Beautiful. But when you have your wishes fulfilled, is it still going to be something that you want? Is it still going to make you happy? When you see it in this position, it's telling you that you need to be happy with the things that you have, especially the things that you have manifested that you have been wishing for. Now, for some of you, you're talking about emotional fulfillment here, and not only that, but stability and security with the Ten of Coins. And then seeing the Lovers, that's good. But something has to come to an end first. Oh, in your environment. Wow, the Emperor. Now, for some of you, what I feel like is if you're dealing with a relationship, for some of you, you're looking at Aries, looking at the Emperor in your environment, because here you are. Here is Scorpio and Aries, right? I don't feel so much that you're dealing with another water sign here, not with the Knight of Cups. I feel like looking at it here, if you're dealing with somebody who may be really fickle with their emotions, that is what's coming to an end here. And things are starting to change where there's a little bit more security within the relationship. There's a lot more happiness and wish fulfillment. It looks good. And it's funny because Scorpio and Aries is a difficult match, but they have the potential to be soulmates in the long run. Which, it's amazing seeing all of this. Now, with the Emperor and Death, and then looking at the Knight of Cups, I feel like that is what's coming to an end here in order to get to a more secure place within a relationship. And the Emperor is needing to get their shit together in terms of their emotions. Where they may have been in and out on you, in and out, things are going to start changing. But I feel like it's not just for them, but it's for you as well. Now, in terms of just the general energy here, with the Emperor and Death, the reason why that part of your life is ending is so that you can get more control over what is happening. And I mean on a major level here with the Emperor. But with the Lovers, again, being there, when I see the Lovers, it's different when I see air signs show up with it, because, yeah, it does point me back to Gemini. But I really feel like for a lot of you, because of where he is, this may be an Aries that you're dealing with here. Okay, I gotta get a drink. Oh my goodness, Scorp. Oh, your hopes and your fears. Okay, so now looking at the King of Coins. For some of you, if this isn't having to do with an Aries, you're looking at an earth sign. But what I feel like looking at it in that position, especially connected to the Ten of Coins, is how you're hoping to see them. Regardless of whoever this person is, I feel like for a lot of you, it's going to be an Aries. For the ones that I'm meant to connect with on this one. Now, I'm looking at the way that you're seeing them. Being a little bit more stable, being more secure, especially in regards to a relationship where, these flighty emotions are done, right? You're going through that transformation within a relationship here. And again, I feel like Aries. Now, they could have Aries or Earth in their chart, or they can be an Earth sign, and you're looking at, this needing to get control over the situation. I mean, it just depends. But the way that I'm seeing this, with the King of Coins being there, is the way that you're hoping that they're going to start acting. That's what brings me back to the feeling of Aries. Because with Aries, and I love them to death, but when you're looking at younger Aries, whether it's sun or moon, more specifically, they're constantly on the move. They're the ones that want to tiptoe up to the fence to see if the grass is really greener on the other side. But as they move into older age, those things start to settle down a little bit. And I'm looking at you, looking at this person as, okay, now they're getting a little bit more control over their life, and they're a little bit more stable, which is good. It's good. My goodness. Oh, and then the outcome you're waiting on. Oh, jeez. The Hangman. Now, let's just look at this from apart from a relationship. Following your heart may not have been the best thing to do in the past. It's causing this major transformation within you. That is where Hunter and Perfection is coming in. Now, with the Lovers, it's making major life choices, and it is about your stability and security. You get to the Hangman, where there needs to be a different perspective seen. With the Emperor being there, it's you getting control over just going after your emotions and not really thinking about the long term. I feel like this is more getting control over this, especially in terms of the decisions that you make. When you're looking at the King of Coins as hopes and fears, this is about being a little bit more successful. But I feel like for the ones that I'm talking to that have to do or are looking at this in terms of a relationship, if this has to do with a relationship for you, the Hangman coming out in this situation to me is you not knowing how to act or how to think about the situation. Otherwise, you would not be in that state of limbo. And you're waiting. It's like you're waiting. And that's going back to that feeling of this major jump, like boom, you go through an ending and straight to the 10 of Coins. But we're going to clarify that Hangman. Now, this to me is saying that you're hanging on to this. You're still waiting. You're still hanging on. The 4 of Coins, I don't feel like is you holding on too tightly to something that you need to release, because I'm not seeing anything negative here. The only thing that you need to release is this energy of the 6 of Swords, where you're feeling like, you need to move away from conflict. That's where the release happens. The release of that conflict. And I don't think that that's something that you're hanging on to. I think you're still hanging on here and waiting to see, this stability like fully develop. Not just within a relationship, but within, your work and career as well. But the 6 of Swords is saying that, there's movement away from conflict. And there is a need to like not hang on too tightly to that, but then also needing to hang on to what is happening here. It's like, just hang in there, right? Which sucks ass. But I think that that's probably the best thing for you until the conflict is like dealt with. And it doesn't look like it's anything bad. I just think that, if you're dealing with another person, looking at the Emperor in your environment, they need to get some things under control. And unfortunately for Scorp, you're going to be in a period of limbo here, waiting for that, conflict to start clearing up here, where you can start moving ahead. Because again, the foundation looks great. And the way that, you're seeing the situation, regardless if it's a person or not, the King of Coins is fantastic. And that is where you want to have your focus placed. Oh my goodness, Scorp. But remember too, though, when you're hunting this down, you have to be careful about that seeking perfection. Because again, you don't want to be too hard on yourself or another person. It's okay to go after the things that you want, but alienating others, I don't know why that stood out to me, or feeling alienated. You don't want to do that to yourself either. Whew, okay, we're going to take a look at the soul trees to see what other messages there are for you guys. Oh, wow. Intuition and prosperity. Hell yeah. I didn't even have to pull these ones. Very nice. So truth. Needing the truth, right? But more importantly, being able to speak your own truth. Your intuition. That's inherent with Scorpio, needing to pay attention to your intuition. Because there is truth there and understanding. But ultimately, you lead into prosperity. And again, it goes back to those of you who are dealing with, finances and career. The 10 of coins and the king of coins looks fantastic. If you're dealing with a family member here, it doesn't look bad at all. And for some of you with the emperor too, I have to mention that is the father figure. But prosperity and happiness, prosperity within a relationship, prosperity within what you're doing in the home, in your career, it's great. I'm not seeing anything that's super negative here at all. It's just, unfortunately, by the end of the week, you're still going to be in kind of a limbo waiting to see how things are going to play out. And you need to hang in there, but then at the same time, you got to let go of whatever conflict may be surrounding it. All right, Scorp, we're going to take a look at Whispers of Love to see what other messages there are for you guys. Receive with love and appreciation. Receiving something lovingly from others is a way of showing love. So basically what that's saying is if you have something good coming to you, you have to be open to receiving it, right? With love and appreciation. Ask for help. What is it you really need help with? Be willing to allow yourself the support you need. And that may be where the energy of the hangman is coming through here. Now, in terms of needing help within a relationship, I feel like that's what you need to be open to receiving here, especially if you're still waiting. You're still waiting to see how things are going to play out here with, this energy of the Emperor and the King of Coins. But you have to be open to receiving the help that you need. Absolutely. If you're having issues within a relationship. But again, your intuition is not only going to lead you to the truth, but it will lead you to prosperity. And that could be, prosperity as far as emotional fulfillment, finances. I mean, it's not bad. It looks great. It's just, unfortunately, again, you're going to be in that waiting period for a little bit. All right, Scorpio. So again, you have the Lovers. Now, for some of you, this is going to be about major life decisions. And for others, this is going to have to do with a relationship. Now, let me just start with the relationship side of this. Something has to come to an end here, and I think it has to do with, if you're dealing with an emperor in your environment, their fickle emotions. If they're going to offer something, damn it, they better do it and they better mean it, right? And I think that that's what's needing to kind of come to an end. Like, if you're dealing with somebody who's been in and out of your life, now is the time to get control over that. And not just the other person, but for you as well, as far as where your emotions lie within the relationship. But I feel like looking at these two, the 10 of Pentacles and the King of Coins, it's like you're hoping that they get a little bit more stable. And then you have the energy of the 10 of Coins coming out. So it looks like there's a little bit more stability, especially within a relationship. And this person may become more dependable. That or you're becoming more dependable within the relationship. But unfortunately, coming out of this, you're going to be waiting around. You're still waiting to see how things are going to happen here. You need to hang on to the good foundation. Absolutely. I don't feel like, there's anything that you're holding on too tightly to. I think that, as far as what you need to release, it's going to be the conflict, but you're moving away from that. But then at the same time, you need to hold on and kind of hang in there, which sucks ass, but that's kind of where you're at coming out of this. Now, for those of you who are looking at finances, it looks fantastic. These two alone are talking about absolute success, which is great to see, especially if you're making major life decisions with the Lovers. But, a new phase of life is opening up for you, especially when it comes to following your heart. But it looks good. And as far as the Emperor goes, whether you're dealing with a person or not, there's leadership here. And this feeling of getting control. and being a little bit more dependable, being a little bit more practical, especially in the decisions that you make for yourself and your career. Where before you may have just been following your heart, things are changing now. That may not have been the best thing to do, but either way, you're going to be in that state of limbo. You need to just hang in there. There's going to be some things that you're going to be moving away from, but you're moving into a more calmer emotional state with the Six of Swords. So I don't think that this is anything that you need to let go of. So even if you're just kind of hanging in there for a few minutes, or a few days, I should say, it's not bad. It's not a bad thing. And maybe it's a chance for you to open up your perspective. Now, on the other hand, though, when you're looking at Hunter and perfection, you have to be careful. You have to be careful about, seeking that perfection. It's okay, but we have a tendency to set some really high standards. And, unfortunately, not everybody is going to meet the high standards that you're setting. And then not only that, but you got to be careful about being hard on yourself as well. Now, in terms of the soul trees, truth, intuition, and prosperity. There is truth to your intuition, and it is leading you to prosperity. Prosperity within the work, within the money that you have, the physical, but then also prosperity in the abundance of a relationship. Because the thing is you're still having your wishes fulfilled. And it's great. But you're still going to have to hang in there. Now, what I think you need to be open to receiving is some help. Especially when it comes to a relationship. Especially if you're still hanging around waiting to see how things are going to develop. So Scorp, just hang in there. Give it the week. And I think that you're going to start to see things differently here. There's going to be more open to you as far as your view goes, no matter what you're dealing with. Major life decisions or a major relationship in your life.